Have you ever wondered what A03 2021 injection is and why it's so important in web application security? This term might sound like something from a sci-fi movie, but it's actually a very real and pressing issue in today's digital world. At its core, A03 2021 injection is a category of security vulnerabilities outlined by the Open Web Application Security Project, better known as OWASP. These vulnerabilities are all about the improper handling of user-supplied input that gets executed as a command or query. In other words, this is where attackers can exploit a system by injecting malicious code or commands into the input fields of an application, potentially leading to unauthorized access or manipulation of data. Now, there are several types of injection attacks that you should be aware of. The first is SQL injection. In these attacks, the bad guys inject SQL commands into input fields or parameters, which manipulates SQL queries and can lead to data breaches, data loss, or even complete system compromise. Next up, we have cross-site scripting, or XSS. Here, attackers inject malicious scripts, often in the form of HTML or JavaScript code, into web applications. These scripts then execute in the browsers of other users, which can lead to everything from cookie theft and session hijacking to website defacement. Then there's command injection. This happens when attackers inject malicious commands into system commands or scripts that are executed by the application. The consequences can be severe, including arbitrary code execution, system compromise, or unauthorized access. We also have LDAP injection. This is similar to SQL injection, but in this case, the attackers are manipulating LDAP queries to perform unauthorized actions or gain access to information stored in directory services. Lastly, we have XPath injection. This involves exploiting vulnerabilities in XML-based applications by injecting malicious XPath queries, which can lead to information disclosure or unauthorized access. So how do we mitigate these injection vulnerabilities? The key is secure coding practices. Firstly, use parameterized queries or prepared statements in database access to prevent SQL injection. Secondly, validate and sanitize user input to ensure that it meets expected formats and doesn't contain malicious code or characters. Thirdly, escape or encode user input properly to prevent interpretation of input as executable code. And finally, always adhere to the least privilege principle. Limit the permissions and access rights of applications, databases, and users to minimize the impact of a successful injection attack. By adopting these best practices and regularly testing applications for vulnerabilities, developers can significantly reduce the risk of injection attacks in web applications. Remember, in today's digital age, security isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. So, stay vigilant, stay safe, and keep coding securely.